Hello, folks. I'm Jeff Benjamin, Wealth Management Editor here at ETF.com. And I'm talking today with Ric Edelman, founder of the Digital Asset Council of Financial Professionals and a member of the ETF.com Advisory Board. How you doing, Ric?
Good to be with you, Jeff, as
Yeah,
always.
great talking to you again. Today we're going to talk about what we talk about a lot with Ric Edelman is crypto. Bitcoin is, I think, as we speak right now, just over $94,000. It's been on a tremendous run, up over 40% over the past 30 days. What is driving this, Ric?
Donald Trump's election, pure and
Okay.
simple. That 40% increase is not over 30 days, it's since the election.
Okay.
The crypto community is extraordinarily enthused by Donald Trump's election, and you're seeing the results of this. Everybody's arguing who's the big winner in the election? Big winner is Bitcoin.
Okay. Okay. Well, that answered my second question. Did the Trump election have an impact? But apparently it did or is. What about what about crypto ETFs? How much have they impacted prices? I know crypto ETFs have been around for a while now. Seems like a while. It hasn't even been a full year, but what is the impact of that now up to this point and going forward?
Yeah, January 10 will be a full year for the Bitcoin ETFs. The Ethereum ETFs launched this past summer. We're seeing a wonderful alignment of the stars.
Hmm?
We had the ETFs become available January and again this summer. Futures ETFs are now available. You can trade futures on Bitcoin directly. They just launched this week. So the availability of securities in the crypto marketplace is relatively new, less than a year, as you noted, and
Hmm?
it is allowing for institutional engagement of crypto for the first time. It's allowing RIAs and financial advisors to engage in crypto for the first time because it eliminates the regulatory uncertainty over whether or not they were allowed to buy Bitcoin or even recommend it to clients. These are ETFs, and ETFs are ETFs, whether it's a stock ETF, a bond ETF, a gold ETF, a real estate ETF. We all know how ETFs work and what they are. They are securities. We know their tax rules. We know their availability in a brokerage account. We can rebalance them. We can dollar cost average. We can tax loss harvest. We can easily add these ETFs to our portfolio. So yes, the advent of these products has definitely fueled the engagement by Wall Street traditional investors. And you see the evidence of this by the fact that these ETFs are the fastest growing ETFs in history. Over $100 billion has been
Hmm?
invested in less than a year into these ETFs, breaking, shattering all prior records for new ETFs.
Now, this is something that I was talking to somebody about earlier today. They said that most of the money into these Bitcoin or these crypto ETFs so far has been retail and not through financial advisors. I don't know if you agree with that or if you're seeing the same thing, but does that represent kind of untapped potential for those ETFs if it is in fact true that there's advisors that haven't really come on board yet?
I do agree that it is mostly retail, along with some institutional engagement, and that yes, it does represent a massive untapped array of capital that has yet to flow. In other words,
Hmm.
even though these ETFs have amassed $100 billion, we ain't seen nothing yet because the overwhelming majority of financial advisors have not yet engaged. And there are two reasons for this. One is that many advisors are still negative on crypto, largely due to a lack of education. Second, those that do want to engage have to wait for their compliance teams to give the green light. They have to wait for their investment committees to say which of these ETFs are going to be made available on the platform. That takes time. They've got to go through the committee process. They've got to go through the risk management process. They've got to get board approval, CEO approval. It takes time. So over the next 2 years, we're going to see RIAs come on board as they go through the bureaucratic process that is routine with any new asset class. So the bottom line is this. Less than 15% of financial advisors are currently recommending Bitcoin to clients. We do a quarterly survey with Franklin Templeton, and that's the current data that we see. But we also see that over half of financial advisors say that they're going to start recommending these products within a year. So considering the fact that 80 some percent of all investors work with a financial advisor, and financial advisors control about $9 trillion of assets, As soon as these advisors begin to recommend a 1 or 2 or 3% allocation, you're going to see hundreds of billions of dollars flow into these ETFs. And because Bitcoin has a fixed supply, an increased demand has to translate to a higher price. And this is why we're going to see 6-figure and very possibly 7-figure Bitcoin within the next decade.
Okay, that's the future. Next decade, 6, 7-figure. What about the more near term? Bitcoin is closing in on $100,000. How significant is that threshold, that level? Do you think that we'll get to that point and there'll be a little bit of a pullback, or what do you anticipate? I mean, we could be at 100,000 within a few days, maybe by the end of this conversation.
Yeah, I was going to say you could be at 100,000 within a few minutes.
Yeah.
Bitcoin is extremely volatile and does rise dramatically in short periods and fall dramatically in short periods. So yes, we are fully expecting that Bitcoin will reach 100,000 before the end of the year. And I'm expecting Bitcoin to be 150,000 by the end of next year and over 420,000 by the end of the decade. That would be a 5x, 4x increase from today's prices. The 100,000 is a big psychological number. Investors like round numbers. And when Bitcoin hits 100,000, there will be an awful lot of excitement and enthusiasm. You will also probably see a significant amount of profit taking. Because a lot of people have been buying Bitcoin for a long time. They have a very low cost basis. They've made a huge amount of money. And let's remember, in 2018, Bitcoin was $3,000. In 2022, Bitcoin was $15,000. So people who've been holding Bitcoin for many years have astonishingly large profits. And when they hit 100, you're going to see a lot of people selling just to take their profits and secure that money. You're also dealing with year-end tax planning issues. As people may want to, just engage in sales, dealing with their taxes. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some selling that causes a short-term pullback, maybe back down to 95 or 90 or 85, who the heck knows when it comes to Bitcoin. I would consider any pullback to be a buying opportunity. We're in a relentless buying opportunity, will be for the next several years. So it's not too late, but the longer you wait, the more expensive it gets. So yes, I think that 100,000 is coming. I think there would probably be a pullback due to profit taking, but that'll just persist and continue the march on to ever higher prices from there.
Okay. Let's go back to President-elect Donald Trump and the Securities and Exchange Commission. There's been talk, I don't even know how this logistically works or legally works, but there's been talk of Trump possibly replacing Gary Gensler as at the top of the SEC, and Hester Peirce possibly taking that position. She's been, I guess, developed a reputation of being a little more favorable toward crypto. What are your thoughts on what could happen at the Securities and Exchange Commission under Trump with regard to crypto?
There is no question that Donald Trump is going to fire Gary Gensler. He made that point very clear during the campaign. He said he will fire Gary Gensler on day one. Gary Gensler gave a speech this past week, which pretty much indicated that he's going to resign from the SEC before the end of the year. Trump has the right, as president, to appoint the chair of the SEC. So yes, he can fire Gary Gensler. He can't kick Gary off the commission. Gary would just move from the chair to being an ordinary, that's a really weird word, ordinary commissioner like the other four. But Gary has indicated that he's not going to stay on the commission. He will leave. So Trump is going to have to appoint a successor. We're all anxiously waiting to see who he's going to pick. Everybody would love Hester Peirce to be selected. She's affectionately known as Crypto Mom in the crypto community. She is a very strong proponent of crypto. And more importantly, she's a strong proponent of fairness in crypto regulation. She believes that crypto has been very poorly regulated and it has been abused by Gary Gensler. And she's been a strong critic of his behavior over the past several years. But she has also said she doesn't want the job. So I'm not, frankly, expecting her to be nominated, and I'm not sure she'd accept the nomination if she got it. Chris Giancarlo would be another wonderful choice. He's known as Crypto Dad. He wrote a book to that name, the former chair of the CFTC. There are lots of pro-crypto folks in regulatory, legislative, and legal circles. And the crypto community is widely expecting a pro-crypto choice to be made, as the president-elect just did for the Department of Commerce. His nominee there is a very pro-crypto individual. This was a big campaign position for Donald Trump, and the crypto community is expecting him to honor that campaign pledge. This is why Bitcoin is up 40% since the election. If he doesn't deliver on that promise, if he chooses somebody who either is neutral or doesn't care about crypto or is an outright crypto hater like Gary Gensler was, nobody expects this to happen. But if it did happen, Bitcoin's price will fall just as fast as it rose. So there is widespread expectation that we're going to see a very crypto-friendly SEC chair, as well as Secretary of the Treasury, and that this is going to unleash crypto legislation in Congress, crypto regulation by the SEC, CFTC, and it's going to be a wonderful opportunity for crypto companies to grow and prosper in a way that Gensler prohibited them from doing. So this is a big reason why crypto prices are up. And when those announcements of the nominees do surface, and it'll be any day now, you're going to see another big spike in crypto.
Okay, wow, a lot of good stuff there. Good things to keep an eye on, the SEC and well, crypto, obviously. I want to thank Ric Edelman, founder of the Digital Asset Council of Financial Professionals. I'm Jeff Benjamin, and this is ETF.com.